While Highguard has officially survived longer than Concord, I don't think it's going to be by much, given now we are finding out that almost everybody that worked on this game has been laid off. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I played Highguard. I was not a big fan of Highguard. It was a really broken experience, really bad experience, and it just seemed that they had an idea but were not able to execute upon it. I genuinely believe their idea was just to create Apex Legends 2.0, which was never going to work given they didn't have the Titanfall lore and that general concept of a world. And, well, the team that worked on this clearly was just not as talented as Apex Legends. But now we are finding out that apparently this game is dead. I mean, they are going to be keeping a core team of developers, but that's basically just a maintenance staff. They're not going to be making any new content. They're not going to be releasing any new content. And well, since there are only a few thousand people playing it still, I don't think that the servers are even going to stay up much longer. I think that it probably would have been smarter for them to just say, we're mass refunding everybody, we're closing down the servers, and that's that. If you are one of the few people who actually like this game, I hate to tell you, this game is going to be around much longer. So we did just find this out yesterday. Wildlight made an official statement on it, saying, "Today we made an incredibly difficult decision to part ways with a number of our team members while keeping a core group of developers to continue innovating on and supporting the game. We're proud of the team, talent, and the product we've created together. We're also grateful for players who gave the game a shot and for those who continue to be a part of our community." So I think that they're just trying to delay the inevitable because they are saying that they kept a core group of developers on to support the game and continue innovating, but there are multiple developers coming out now and saying basically everybody was let go, and you can't continue to innovate on a game if there's only, let's say, 5 people or 10 people who are still just maintaining the servers. They say that this one really stings as there was a lot of unreleased content they were looking forward to, so maybe they could take some of that unreleased content and try to push it out to the people who are still interested, but I don't even think they would do that because let's say they release, I don't know, a new map or a bunch of new skins and there are technical difficulties with them and then there are like bugs and glitches, then they're not going to have a large enough team to actually fix the game and really maintain it. Maybe they could bring some of the people they laid off back temporarily as like contract workers. I don't know how this could work. I don't know how they could release any new content. I basically think it's just in maintenance mode. They're going to leave it up for a little while, and I think the only reason they're doing that is so they don't have to refund people. When it came to Concord, they took the servers offline and they mass refunded people, but in this case, if they leave it up for 6 months or a year, then they don't have to give any money back. Now, I don't think they really made a lot of money off of the initial release. Yes, the game did go all the way up to 97,000 people, which is quite a lot of people to give it a go, but they lost most of their players in the first couple of days, and now they're averaging like a 96% player loss from just 2.5 weeks ago. And it's even worse right now. Usually around this time, the number would start to go up, and that hasn't happened. So I think that the few people that were still playing it are just sort of over it. They figure, oh, yeah, that's basically it. Like, there's no point to put any more time and effort into this because things like ranked weren't released. So yeah, all you have is the base 3v3 and 5v5 mode, but with these few people in game, that means that it's going to be hard to find a match, right? There's no point to spend money on the game. And, well, I mean, you can't maintain servers with 1,600 freaking people. That's basically just dead. And as I have said before, and I will continue to say, I think that every game has a right to release and exist, even if it's a Reloaded, or a Highguard, or a Concord, or a Dustborn. Every single game deserves to come out, and every single developer has a right to release a game. But that doesn't mean we can't point and laugh at it. And in this case, the game just sucked, right? They should have done better. They should have tried a little bit harder. So this is a shame for the developers who actually were passionate and talented and believed that this was going to be the next big thing. But at the same time, you were not listening to gamers. You clearly are out of touch with what gamers actually have asked for and wanted over the years. Nobody wants live service. Hero shooters generally fail now. The aesthetic of this game was bad. And it's wild that a game that shoved literally every system into the mix was just so boring. It's, I guess, a shame for the people who were a part of this team that were talented, but when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And well, I think Jeff Keighley should publicly apologize to them, because whenever Jeff Keighley talks about a game and whenever Jeff Keighley promotes a game, it's like it is instantly dead. It's like he's got a death touch because he's shilling for products and it looks like, oh my gosh, a corporate shill is shilling for corporate slop. Like, wow, what could possibly go wrong here? And then there's people who are like, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, which, yeah, I suppose didn't help. That's for sure. But there are thousands of gamers saying, you kind of got what you deserve. Maybe next time try a little harder. At Jeff Keighley, so great. No open beta, no early access, no marketing, a game no one asked for. What went wrong? And yeah, I think that there were a lot of problems with this game, but I think that if you do launch a game in early access or open beta, you can help yourselves a little bit because you could listen to customers. Imagine if a month ago, when we first saw it, they took our feedback into account and they maybe toned back some of the systems a little bit. They actually added 5v5, which was a request basically everybody had asked for, and they did implement a week after release, but it was far too late by then. And then they changed some of the character designs. Imagine if they added cooler skins, maybe cooler body proportions for characters in the 5v5. That instantly would have helped them a lot, and it would have seemed like they were listening to people, but obviously it doesn't matter now. So what's the plan with the game? Got almost 100 hours in it. Is it gonna shut down? Yeah, Andrew, it's going to be shut down, buddy. What's the size of the core group of developers? Yeah, they haven't been very transparent. Developers that were laid off basically said, yeah, there's practically nobody working there now. And even though most of us saw this coming from a mile away, this does highlight the major problem we see in the video game industry. There are suits and higher ups at companies who don't care about giving games a chance. The situation with something like Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky are extremely rare because it is extremely rare for higher ups to go, no, we are going to continue to improve upon this. We're going to keep this alive. We're going to try to give people the experience they expected. And in the case of live service games, if it doesn't initially do good, you are paying so much money to keep a server up for virtually nobody. Companies need to move away from live service. They need to actually listen to their customers, and maybe they would be doing a little bit better. And yeah, there are some live service games that have done good. Again, speaking in the case of some of the developers on this team, Apex Legends, a game that a lot of them came from, is still doing pretty good. But more oftentimes than not, live service games come out, they fail, and then the servers are shut down. So I'll be keeping my eye on what is going on with Highguard. I don't think the servers are going to be up for a very long time, but I do think they're hoping to keep them up long enough to not have to refund people, so we'll have to see, but it's not looking good for Wildlight. Most of the development team was laid off, and this game is basically dead now. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.